Fellow Toastmasters, good evening once again for this new episode of the Toastmaster Show. And tonight I have the privilege to welcome a soon-to-be famous writer. Please welcome the Toastmaster way, Brin Surnam. Welcome, Brin, to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you. But you forgot to add soon-to-be millionaire.
I hope so. I hope so. So, you know the format of the show tonight, and I love starting really with what we call the Proust Questionnaire, which is really a fast-paced questioning. So, are you ready?
Very much so.
Let's go. Your favorite virtue?
Honesty, loyalty.
Favorite qualities in a man?
Except for the obvious one. Loyalty, fidelity.
Favorite qualities in women?
Same.
Favorite occupation?
Right now, sleeping.
Your chief characteristic?
It's difficult to define myself. I'm different with different people, but I'm very truthful.
Your idea of happiness?
Freedom.
Your idea of misery?
Loss of freedom.
Favorite color?
I don't have a favorite color.
Favorite flower?
Rose.
If not yourself, who would you be?
I believe I'm so phenomenal that I cannot see myself as somebody else.
Well done. Your favorite prose author?
Prose, it would be Agatha Christie, Jeffrey Archer.
Good. And favorite poet?
Poet, it would be, except for myself, I think, right now I can't get his name. He's a war poet. Do you remember him?
No. But that's fine. Okay. We'll get to it
Rumi
later.
is my second favorite. Okay.
Cool. Favorite painter?
I don't have a favorite painter, but I have a favorite photographer. His name is Ray Collins.
Okay.
He takes pictures of waves. He goes out into the sea and he takes these wonderful pictures.
Oh, it should be wonderful. Favorite heroes in real life? Or hero?
Apart from people in my family, it would be Robin Shaw.
Robin Sharma. Great. And favorite heroine in real life?
Apart from myself, it would be my mom.
Favorite hero in fiction?
Fiction, it would be Hercule Poirot. I have a huge crush on him.
And favorite heroine?
Heroine, it would be Josephine March.
Okay.
And Elizabeth Bennet.
Good. What is your present state of mind?
Right now, I am in a peaceful zone, and my goal is to lose weight.
Good. Thank you very much. That's tough, isn't it?
It's very tough.
Good. So let's bring some levity in this meeting. So I introduced you with saying that you're soon to be famous and soon to be millionaire writer. So you write as a hobby for the time being. But do you think moving that hobby to a full-time job?
I'm doing everything towards this goal because that's where I'm happiest. I love writing. I feel completely and utterly myself. I don't need to pretend that I'm somebody else or to conform to the society's rules. This is where I let go completely. And this is my true vocation, but I also have to earn a living. So till I don't achieve that financial freedom to leave my job, I'll be still stuck in my job.
Yeah, and that's the case of many authors. It's difficult to leave from your books. But so you write, and you told us that you love writing. So tell us a little bit more about the creative process.
Okay. I used to write poems before, but you see, I didn't have much tragedies in my life.
Okay.
To be able to write something. Honestly, it's sad, but I knew I wanted to be a writer, but I had nothing to write. So when I was 20, I decided to get married, and I had planned my life. So I'd start writing when I'm 40. At 40, I'll be mature enough. I would have gathered experiences to write. But then I started writing my first story when I was supposed to do my dissertation for my degree course, which I started late in life. And instead of writing my dissertation, I created this character just after my husband's death. Because I wanted to go back in the past and recreate my life. And the only way I could do it was to write it down. So I created this character that would come back and say sorry to his wife. And the story just took its own turn.
Okay.
And I had to make it very tame because my daughter was my first reader, so I had to cut a lot of sex scenes in it.
You didn't want that to be too
hot and spicy. So that's how I started.
Okay.
Then I also write poems. Now stories you can manipulate. You write, you edit, you don't like a word, you say, I don't like this word, I go to thesaurus and I change it. But poems come from the heart. They are purely from the heart. Especially when there were times I was missing desperately. Oh, you feel so lonely at night when everybody's asleep and you're all alone and you just say, but what do I do?
So
that those feelings used to come out on paper.
And so from what I understand, so the creative process between
different.
a poem and story is
It's
completely
different.
different.
It's completely
Okay,
different.
so let's go to your first book. And actually, the theme of the day was interesting, going back in time. So your first book is titled Life of No Return. And so in this book, so the main character, Ria, so basically wakes up after 20 years of coma. Okay? And by listening to you, so how much really did you put of yourself into Ria?
Well, I'm very loving towards my family, 100%. In any relationship, I give myself, even if it's a friend, but if I'm betrayed, I'm lied to, I'm very unforgiving.
Okay, so that's that piece of Ria that makes the whole book. And so, because we're coming close to the end of this show, unfortunately, I would have loved to speak to you for ages, but Life of No Return as a question mark. And I'm intrigued. Why the question mark?
Okay, first of all, the title, it struck me because the first movie I watched on a VCR was A River of No Return.
Yeah.
So when I wrote this book and I thought of a title, this is the only title that came to my mind. Because our lives are like a river. I mean, it's like a river. So once we go through a certain situation, we cannot go back. And if you betray your spouse, whatever you do, you cannot go back and repair. You just have to go with the flow and decide whether you want to separate or join in it.
And that would be the world of the end. So thank you very much, very insightful, and I'm looking forward to your next novel or short stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.